Alright, part 2. So let's finish up these vehicles and get them through the first phase. Let's see what makes it. First one we have here is a realistic truck mod of the Ford Raptor. There are two Raptors that we're going to test out. This one is pretty generic. It's a good looking basic Raptor. In real life, the F450 Raptor has it's a pretty powerful engine and it's designed to do off-road things. So if this is like that, this probably will make it pretty far. We'll see though. Not quite as quick as I would have guessed. We're at full throttle here and not really going too fast. This is your first time joining us. The goal here is we're testing out 50 different trucks to figure out what is the best truck. We're going through a course on the rock crawl map. We'll go through the first part, see what makes it there, and then we'll go through the second part and mix it through that. And after that, I've got some very intricate towing challenges. The video is broken up into several parts, and I've put timestamps because it's a very long video. But I felt all of the content was worth keeping, because it really shows these vehicles off really well. And I'll put timestamps for the vehicles to make it so that you can just kind of jump around as needed. See how this one does with this bit. Doesn't seem like it's going to be able to take the shortcut, so we're probably going to have to go the main long way over. That nose is just a little bit too low to be able to do that. If we can actually make this turn. It's like Austin Powers or something. Drive around the log as best we can. I don't think it's going to do well with that front approach angle. It's just going to be way too tricky. Made it through that. But I'm not really confident about what's coming. The turning radius on this is also pretty terrible. It's not quite able to kind of get where it needs to be. We'll take the easy path here. Path that doesn't take too much of an approach angle to get across. See if we can even make it across these logs here. Now, as I said in part 1, anything that really struggles with these logs seems to have an even bigger challenge getting up the next part. So pretty likely we're going to get stuck trying to go across the narrow bridge into the really steep rock climb. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Give it a little bit more speed this time. One more try, maybe we can bump the front enough. That's not looking good. Maybe on an angle. This doesn't usually go well when I try to do this. It's not going well this time either. Yeah, it's stuck. All four wheels do spin though, so that is good to know. Alright, so that's just carnage. Just absolute carnage. Again, if you're just joining us, you can any vehicle that fails, you can see we just leave it where it is. If it does get in the way in any sensor form, we will use the Volvo to get them out of the way. But it's fine. Let's just actually grab one of the Volvos. There's so many vehicles on this map. So we'll just actually run to it. Volvo's got the Traverse mod on the front of it. So what that allows us to do is to pick up vehicles. If you haven't seen my short on it, I figured that out by mistake and been really happy about it ever since. So it's very handy right here where we can just kind of pick up the car, do what we need to with it, or just push it off. That also works. We'll go ahead and try to pick it up though. So you just lock the tension belts kind of right above the vehicle and it will pick it up no problem. If they're not too heavy, this is the bigger Volvo from the Platinum DLC. Does a pretty good job with it, so see, no real issue moving this thing around. They do wobble quite a bit with the tension belts though, because it just depends on the weight distribution and where you pick it up. Just place that down gently somewhere. That looks great. Yeah, cool. Moving on. Okay, next up in this row, we got a pretty basic Chevy pickup truck here, Silverado. Pretty good model, if I'm honest. This is better than the last Chevy pickup truck we tried in part 1, where the roof was kind of two-toned, even though it wasn't supposed to be. It's like almost like one had a different finish than the other. Kind of the way it would look if you waxed like one part of the truck but didn't wax the other. So it's pretty good. Very realistic mod. Traveling pretty quick. Got a nice light turbo whistle you can hear in the background there. A little drift in the turn. We do have what appears to be stock-ish tires, so that's gonna probably cause us some issues, but we'll see. We've also got what they usually do on stock trucks, where you've got that front valance. They call it like a wind damper. It goes below the bumper. It's supposed to make the truck look a little bit more modern, but really causes issues when you're off-roading. You know, in real life, they are plastic, so they would just break and you'd be able to drive through it. And this is a pretty good collision on it. Just gotta find the right approach angle. We kind of go. Gotta tell you, it's not promising. If you can't make it through this bit, that's like the lightest incline that we have, or the lightest rock face. So now we're gonna have to do a 57-point turn to get this thing pointed the right direction. And try not to fall off the rock at the exact same time. Not too bad. Okay. Another 500-point turn. Alright. It's doing better so far than I thought it would, but this is the real challenge here when you get onto this log section. And we do it. Do it on a ridiculous angle. Okay. I have zero confidence in this next part, though. This is quite the, yeah. All right. Well, it's kind of where I expected that to happen, with narrow wheels and a pretty narrow truck. Alright, we'll get this one out of the way too. Just do the same thing we did last time. Nice and gently, we'll pick it up. Pick it up nice and gently. There we go. Not an issue. Oh. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Bad things. Alright, now I can fix this. It's not an issue. Yep. Okay. I don't know how we're gonna get back up there, but it's not a big deal. Just we'll just drive there. Alright, like if the trucks can make it across this, I can probably make it backwards. This isn't fast. But it's a Volvo, so it can go anywhere. See, we're fine. We're gonna be just fine. We just gotta get it onto the other side, back where it belongs, because, well, that's where I need it. I strategically placed all of these cranes based on where I anticipated the most failures, and so I really need this back on the other side. So all I gotta do is I just gotta go across this. It's really not gonna be a big deal. This Volvo's it's a beast. Right? Real gentle. Yeah. Yeah, I was worried that was going to happen. Alright, we'll just kind of lift ourselves off the rocks and we'll get this figured out. Alright, this isn't working out so well. Maybe we can wrap the arm around the log and use that to kind of get us out. Otherwise, I'm not really sure. But I don't want to give up. Because I never give up. Unless the vehicle's totaled. I'm pretty sure I can get this out of here. Just use that to kind of lift us up. That's not really working. We're still moving, at least. We just kind of spin. There we go. And now the arm is over. I can save this. I can definitely save this. Yep, look at that. I'm like a monkey in this thing, it's great. Swing a little bit. I don't really know how I'm gonna get up on the log once I do this, but at least if I can wrap around it, we're gonna get somewhere. Don't know if it's a good place, but we're gonna get somewhere. Yep, we'll just kind of rock in place a little bit. Guys, I don't think this is actually working. I'm gonna keep trying. Remember, this is all for you. It's all for the challenge. It's all for you. Just grab that ledge. This is starting to feel like a Family Guy skit here. This is just ridiculous. Feel free to just skip ahead to the next chapter, guys. This might be a minute. I'm nothing if I'm not persistent. I'm pretty sure that's in the rock now. Again, I'm not really sure what my plan is once I get up there, but it's going well. This sea of carnage down here, all my abused pickup trucks. Try to pick these up and move them out of the way, because then maybe I can drive a bit. I don't think that's going to work either. Yeah, this is, it's not going well, I'll tell you that much. I almost forgot this is a truck challenge. Promised not to cut any of the footage. And so normally I would jump cut and just kind of reset it, pretend like I fixed it, but we're gonna do this until either the tractor gets totaled or I get up there. If I get up there, it's gonna be an epic story. Tell it to my grandkids one day. I'm pretty sure I'm just making it worse at this point. Yeah. Alright. So we are pretty good, pretty stuck. Hey look, at least Scarlett's coming to help us. And her super glitched out. I told you, second PC is not doing so hot on this map, and there's a lot going on here, so she's probably lagging quite a bit. Brought her in to try to get a better camera angle, but realized that she couldn't even see the texture of the rocks. So we'll just kind of keep her in frame here, but can't use her for filming. Pretty sure most people would have given up by now. But I am not most people. I'm getting this vehicle either up, back on the rock, or it's going to get totaled down here. I mean, it's already upside down and in water, so most likely it's going to be that it's going to be totaled. But your guess is as good as mine, so let's see how this plays out. do have to say, I mean, this Volvo equipment is fantastic. The claw has a little bit to be desired, and I wish it did have a fixed process head, but the machine, the model, is beautiful. They did a fantastic job with this. Look at the abuse that it's taking from me. It's now stuck in a river of pickup trucks. Just living the dream down there, really. And it's totaled. It finally got enough water, it threw me out of it, and now I'm stuck in a rock. That truck's now totaled too. Tried to start it. What is still running down there? That isn't totaled. Oh, it's this Ram. How is this still alive? It's completely underwater. It's still driving. Well, at least we can shut off the engine and quiet that down. Alright, let's move on. Let's get back to the reason that you guys are all here. The challenge. Alright, next up we've got this lime green truck. This is the base game Lizard pickup truck. I have no expectations for this thing to do it, but it is a pickup truck. It's in the game. And it's pretty famous because, well, it's the first pickup truck you get on a lot of maps. Let's see how well it does the challenge. So far, so good. No log errors. No glitches. Drives fantastic. Pretty happy about it, I would say. No issues. Some lag spikes you're seeing there just from how much stuff's actually in here. Imagine this is going to continue to get worse as I start getting the final vehicles into this area. So if you see some frame rate drops, that is what's happening. For the record, I don't ever recommend having this many modded vehicles, custom modded vehicles on any map, let alone keeping them all in one spot and doing crazy things with them. But I suffer for you. I will deal with the frame rate drops. I will deal with the pain. Let's just finish this, get this over. It's doing better than I thought. However, it's not looking promising. Can barely make it over that first rock, and as we saw with the other truck that couldn't get it over the first rock, it did not make it very far. So let's see. Maybe you want to place bets. I'm gonna guess it gets stuck on the first set of logs that are across the path that we have to drive over. Not this one, but the one at the top of the rock. We obviously have to go the long way because this thing can't. Huh. Alright, we got four-wheel drive. Didn't even make it up the hill. Okay, moving on. We gave it a shot. There's just so much going on here. Alright, we're into the next row here. Got the Tonka truck. It's an old, what looks like an old Toyota. It's the Toyota Tacoma, I believe. It's the American edition of the Hilux. It's a good truck. A pretty decent model here. Because it had Tonka written on the side, I chose the yellow with black wheels because that's what it does. Huh. least it righted itself. It's very fast through there. Transmission issues. It's not shifting. I don't know if you can hear that. It's actually getting a little bit frustrating. I promise this is an automatic. It says it's automatic. It's kind of stuck in gear though. I'll still let it ride. We're gonna get somewhere with this. So best guess on this one. It's actually pretty good. I'm gonna guess though. I'm gonna guess it actually makes it over the bridge, and the first bridge with the two logs. I'm gonna guess it gets stuck on the goofy bridge though, the one where some of the boards are kind of knocked out. Let's see. All right. Okay. All right. I do like how the front tires go straight through the body of the truck when you go over big hills. I think that's super realistic. That's what's always happened to me when I've gone off-roading in the past. The tire will just shoot right into the engine bay. Okay, that was good. Okay. Alright, alright. I'm with it. Turning radius is quite terrible. If you've noticed, I've had to reset the excavator because I need that. I also found out the hard way that if you leave a map while you've got totaled vehicles, they reset. It's probably what happened to Storm's pickup truck on Upper Mississippi River when we lost it 1 week. I think his truck got totaled, and when we all left the map and the server rebooted, I think it kind of just rebooted it it redid something with the truck, put it somewhere. So I've noticed that happened to me here because I left for a brief minute to just grab a snack, and I exited the save game to kick out Scarlet. I really didn't need to be on multiplayer anymore. I could just do this locally. I'd probably get better frame rates. Alright, so not too bad actually. It's pretty good. If you are into this style truck, it's not a bad model at all. I knew someone that had one of these growing up. It was a really good truck he had. Unfortunately, he didn't know to check the oil, so eventually he ran it without oil, and the truck got totaled. And he got a Ford Ranger instead. But it was very good while it lasted. It was a very fun truck. This is not going anywhere. We're going to have to get this out of here. It can't right itself. So let's get the equipment and get this on out of here. It's pretty well stuck too. Not quite as far as I guessed, but it is what it is. I'm going to try not to destroy this excavator. We're going to see how this plays out later. Just take it nice and slow so I don't get one of the tires stuck somewhere and end up flipping this thing like I did the last one. If this does get this out of here though, it does say a lot about this as a piece of logging equipment. I did use this quite a bit on Silverado when it first came out, and was quite impressed with it. Let's see if I can traverse this pretty interesting path. It's gonna be good. Alright. Alright, we can grab it. Just reach. Reach. Yoink. Alright. We got it. Let's just get this out of here and bring it back onto stable ground. Not stuck. Just, yeah. Trying to figure out. It's very tight quarters in here. Oh, we're getting there. Okay, we're cool. Okay. Now that we're clear of that, let's just kind of put this over to the side. Get that out of our way for now. Now keep in mind, this is just the first part. So all these vehicles that are getting eliminated, they're not gonna proceed to the second part. The second part will be much quicker, as we already only have 3 vehicles that have made it through here out of the, I'd say probably 30 we've tested so far. So, not too bad. Let's just tab back over. Tab through everything we have here. It's a lot of equipment. Okay. So, next up, we don't have much left, as you can see. We're getting pretty close here. Appreciate you guys sticking with me. We've got the TLX monster truck. This comes in the 3500 pack. This is got a few different engines. We've got the Beast engine here. We've got the big wheels. A little bit of lag. Drives fantastic. This is new to 22. It's a bit ridiculous, but it's done a really good job. Now it does say in the mod description that it is top heavy, so you want to slow down before you turn. Otherwise you will probably roll it. It does have a rear hitch that does work, and I've used that on a few personal save games before, so I know that that can tow really well. Got some really good color configurations, and kind of the only thing it's missing is a gooseneck, but how would you put a gooseneck 60 feet in the air, or however high that is? I imagine this is going to do... I was going to say better, but it's not quite yet. Better than the original 3500, but maybe it won't because it is quite top heavy. So pending that I don't flip this, be in a good spot. And I do have 2 of these, I believe. I did one with the crazy wheels, so we'll try that in a minute too. That one's a little bit more modded out. I believe those wheels are actually for packing in silage or chaff to turn into silage. I don't think they're for rock climbing, but we'll see what they do. Maybe they give us more grip. So far, this is going really well. Truck just goes where it wants to. That wasn't on purpose that I went around that, but we're not going back now. Let's see what we got here. Try to adjust the camera angle so it's not too bad. It's just knocking cones everywhere. Alright, the wide tires, not a problem whatsoever. That's pretty good. Get over the next log bit here. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm not even worried about this. This is gonna go all the way. Only thing is if there's any narrow spots. But I think we'll be good in here. We'll turn on some lights so you guys can see. Rock territory. Not too bad. Don't want to roll. It shouldn't be too bad here either. It's nice and wide, so I don't think, yeah, it's just driving over the outside edges. See if it fails where the other monster trucks failed, or if it can beat these two monster trucks. Wow. Oh boy. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Now if I do that same nosedive here, that's going to be a problem. I imagine I'll also nosedive going down the right-hand side if I go down the straw bale staircase. So what if we go this way and not hit the sign? There we go. Alright, not too bad. Not too bad. Go over the tetanus area. Okay. This part's... It might be too wide for this, so hopefully... This is how the other monster truck failed. Yep, it's still down there. Let's get a better camera angle just so we can make sure that we're actually on these. And then let's just, let's hope. Do love the headlights he's got on these too. Nice work. This is only a 2-passenger, so that's a little bit different than the 3500 we tested before. To be honest, I'm not too often driving around with that many people. Look at how high up we sit in this thing. Can't even see the road. We're just going to kind of pretend that it's below us, or imagine. We'll trust it. So yeah, like I was saying, I don't know that I'd ever really have 4 people in, because even on when you play on multiplayer, usually everybody's doing slightly different things where you need to bring multiple vehicles anyway, because you got to transport things. So maybe it's not too bad to only have 2 seats. Alright, right through. No big deal. Let's park this in the winner circle here. The rest. It's looking good. Really good. Okay. Tap back over. And moving on. Now we have the Velociraptor craziness. This was a mod on 19 as well. I think someone converted it. I don't know if it was the original mod owner. We've got 6 sets of tracks. If I was a gambling man, this would be the thing that I would imagine would do really well on these rock walls and things. Based on what we've seen though, I'm gonna guess that it's not. I could be mistaken. I'd like to be mistaken. Problems I see with this, it's very long. There has been no body roll or suspension travel. So I think it's gonna be kind of like driving a tank or something over this, where it'll work, but because the length and no articulation of the wheels, probably gonna get stuck. Interior is pretty nice. It's not the it's the Overkill, not the Velociraptor. Let's see what happens here though. Let's get it up on the first line if we can. Looks all the carnage. Try to do this a little bit in first person if we can. May not be the best idea. We're stuck. Okay, let's give that another chance. Again, it's the length, right? That's pretty much everything that's left down here was either too low of a front bumper or was too long to actually make it up the hill. Oh, it's only 2-wheel drive. Alright, so if this was actually 6-wheel drive, and I do have enhanced vehicle controls on and locked, so if something is all-wheel drive, it will do it. Because it's only 2-wheel drive, though, it's really not. It's not gonna happen. Just look at the carnage. Alright, moving on. Next up, this is an old F-150. That is obnoxious. I don't know if you're even going to be able to hear me over this thing. It's very, very loud. Let's just see how it plays out. I'll talk on the next vehicle. It's not terrible when you're in the truck. Outside's pretty brutal though. Alright, let's see how this thing does. It's just never gonna work. I also really don't like it. It's too loud. I wanted to like it because it's a truck that my dad had growing up, but it is what it is. All right, so we got a few more mods left. Check out. Let's check out the Ram Charger with no tailgate. Got some beefy tires. Feeling pretty confident. Not too bad. Sounds good. Got a rear hitch. Speed is good. Does have shadow, unlike some Hummer vehicles. Okay. All right. Not too bad. Yep. Truck's definitely in the way. And over the easy bit. Let's see if it'll take the shortcut, or will we have to take the long cut? Don't know for sure yet. Yeah, shortcut's probably gonna work. Okay. How about... Oh, that's easy. Can it do the bridge? Come on. Oh, it wants to. Yeah, we got it. Okay. Alright. Down through the logs. Up the steep bit. Through the tunnel. Headlights are working. Not bad, not bad. Six-point turn. Around the bend. Can it do the bridge? Stay to the right. Stay further to the right. Go all the way to the left. All the way back to the right. Okay. Through the straw bales. Not too shabby. Articulation's pretty good. Not quite good enough though. So the problem is the solid rear axle. The solid rear axle is causing us a problem with some of these mods where we end up not being able to go anywhere. It does have four-wheel drive. Some of the problem with collisions a little bit too high. Did definitely better than I thought it would. Just toggle super strength and get that out of the way. I don't have a crane up here. Yeah, it looks good there. Alright. Back off so I don't accidentally throw a vehicle through something when I go to enter it. Alright, now we have a Chevy Colorado. This one looks like it's in off-road edition. Got a spare tire in the back that doesn't match any of the tires, but it's there. You know? So I guess if you run into an issue, you can always put on a spare tire that's a different size with a different rim and call it a day. Got a bunch of off-road lights. Got running boards and everything. It's not a lot of ground clearance on this, if I'm honest. Not feeling too confident. It's quite quick. It's nice looking. Can't really do anything with the bed. I'm being pretty brutal. This is a good mod for anybody that is interested in, if this is your thing, it's a good mod. Okay. Alright, that's not bad. Not bad. We have 2 spare tires in the back. Looks like. Neither of them match our rims and tires though, so it's about 600 point turn. It's not going to make it up that. It's got pretty tiny wheels. Just grind on this and get stuck on a log. I don't even know why it's stuck. Okay. Go the long way around this because I don't think it's going to turn sharp enough to make the turn otherwise. Alright. We'll go the long way around again. Can't do the logs. Let's see. This cone's kind of in the way. There we go. There, we made it. I'm pretty sure this is where it's going to fail though, because there's no way with that nose piece and the way this thing's hit everything on the way here that it's going to make it across this. We're going to find out. Speed and power. Yeah, I don't think this one has a chance. I'm gonna have to get the Volvo. I'm nervous about this because last time it was an adventure when we had the Volvo. I'm gonna be a lot more careful this time. Don't really need another adventure in the river with a Volvo. Alright, stay on solid ground and not lean too far. This is a lot lighter than the last one that we tried to lift, so maybe we're in a good spot. Again, like I said, the ones that were in the river that got totaled when I left to go get a snack and left the game and revived it, it respawned them elsewhere on the map, so I'm sure we'll bump into them at some point. Alright, that's out of there at least. Let's move on. We have this truck. This is... the tires are going through the floor. So this is the EMR truck with the modifications that I did to do my short where I had this thing tow like 500 big buds. So I'm not sure why the tires were sitting in the ground like that. Do have lots of different controls on this, which is pretty cool. Sounds great. This was one of my favorites on 19. I used this truck a lot. I had modified it on 19 so that it was powerful enough to tow the FDR equipment and tow huge log trailers. This was like when I did any type of anything where I didn't want to have a tractor trailer, this became my tractor trailer. So when the mod came out, I migrated my edits to this one, and it's been really good. I've used it for a lot of things. My edits include just making it heavier, more power, and then additionally tires. I don't think it's going to do well here. I brought it in because it's my favorite, one of my favorite pickup trucks, but it's pretty low and it's very long, so it's very unlikely it'll do here. But you know, it does have its place. It's doing better than the other long trucks. Problem's going to be that front bumper though. I know it. So edits I made to it, I took the engine specs from FDR's logging truck, and I modified them to work with this so that it would have the power of that, because I figured if he's figured out his truck and getting his truck set to tow all of his equipment, might as well reuse that. I also realized back on 19 that tires make a huge difference, and tires can have a grip coefficient essentially, much like real life. And depending on that grip coefficient, that can affect your pulling power uphill. So these tires that are on this have a really good grip coefficient to make this thing do lots of stuff. So it's great. It's great on flat ground. It will tow anything uphill as well. Even the FDR stuff, which is crazy powered. So that's why I utilized my edits in the video I did, which was a hot take on an old Super Bowl commercial for Rams. We might actually even just get stuck here. You can lift and lower the suspension on this. This is all the way lifted, so it makes it a little bit better. Yeah. You can see the wheels are just spinning. The problem here is it's just the length of something like this. So many light options on this though. Running boards pop out. I do like this truck a lot. I also made it pretty heavy, so we'll see if this can even pick it up actually. Base mod's not very different than my edits. My edits, like I said, are just mainly, my goal was to make it be able to tow fully loaded log trailers, multiples of them, with dollies, and to be able to tow the FDR equipment in case I wanted to. So the base isn't much different than mine. I actually kept it modded in a way that it was configuration to even use my options. I don't know if it's going to pick it up. It's a good model though. Do you recommend if this is the EMR off-road truck, if you are looking for a truck for pretty realistic gameplay? You'll actually see this in a lot of people. I think I've seen it in quite a bit. Actually, I think I just saw a piece of Clutch Simulations latest video. He had used this in it as well. You'll see it a lot in, like, I think Hudson uses it and everything too. It's just a really, really, really good model. Very detailed. I was very happy that they brought it forward to 22. I'm gonna have an interesting time picking this thing up though, because my edits have made it very heavy. Let's see if we can just kind of push it. Get it a little bit out of the way. There we go. Get it enough out of the way that I can drive it the rest of the way. So give it a try. There we go. That's fine. I'll move this just slightly out of the way here. This thing drives at warp speed. Alright. Yeah, so I know I've said it before, but in summary, this highly recommend this mod. If you're not rock climbing and you don't need passenger support, it's a really good truck. Mirrors even fold out like that, so you can get the towing mirrors. Trying to turn the lights off on this thing, but it doesn't seem like they want to go off. It seems like they're just permanently on that Colorado. Alright, last one in this row. We have what appears to be an F750 from the 90s. This was a truck that most people bought for commercial purposes. They didn't have truck beds on them, but that became a thing on some Ford models. Started doing it with this, and then the F650. You got into the 2000s. Really cool. Gauges do not work on this. Sounds good though. Interior models, pretty accurate to what I remember these being. Always like the goofy mirrors that are supported with like a scaffolding system on these. That's real. That's how they used to look. It's quite quick. So actually, this is really good. I'm pretty impressed with it. Oh, saved it. We have the Ninja Turtles color scheme going on this. Green on green. No gooseneck hitch on it. Big tires though. Oh, that's impressive. Notice what they did is the fuel tanks don't have collisions, so it's doing better than a lot of the other monster trucks where, aside from the TLX, where you've got this collision on the drive shafts, but it's doing pretty good. We'll go right up this piece because why not? Okay. Yeah. It's a long truck too, folks. Like you gotta remember that most of the other dualies did not do this really well. So line up here pretty well. Yeah, we're a little off. Give that another shot. It doesn't even mind. Wow. Alright, I do like this. Not a problem. Not an issue whatsoever. Okay. Alright. Not an issue. Will it get stuck here? That's the real question. Shame it doesn't have a gooseneck. This would be a good pulling rig. I do like gooseneck trailers. I'm not really sure why, but I have a preference towards them. I just always thought they were cool, I guess. Alright, not an issue. Line this up properly. That tire articulation's perfect. It does sound like it stalls every time that you take off the gas though, which is kind of funny. Alright, can it do this? And it like winds up. Sounds like a weed whacker. Alright, that's no issue. Huh. Alright. Okay. I'm impressed. I'm actually impressed. Let's do some in-cab for here, like usual. Okay, no problem. Roof's still in one piece, so we're fine. Again, I do wish the gauges worked, but it's a very good, it's a good truck. Alright, winner circle. First one of the day. Alright, let's go on. Or second one of the day. So we did the monster truck, right? Moving on. Last 2 rows. Not too much left here. Let's see what we can do. Alright, this is the TLX 3500 again. We've got a slightly different configuration. So here we've got some color changes. We've got the same powerful engine, but we've got these spike wheels. Generally, these are used for compacting chaff to turn into silage, but I was wondering if they had even better grip. Really beautiful again. Great truck. It's so wild to me that this just comes from 82 Studios' imagination. Looking good. Okay. Not too bad. There we go. This thing's just a monster. Jeez. Like, this is like nothing for it. It's just like... Again, it's like playing on like cheat mode. Alright, we've rolled over. So I got a little bit too excited, but can we flip it back? Can we flip it back? Persistent, guys. It's not totaled yet. It's not totaled. However long it takes, I will not do a jump cut. It's just insane. I can do this. I can do this. Just gotta rock it. Little bit. Little bit. Come on. If you want to. No, you want to. Please. I want you to. Uh-huh. Come on. Come on. I fall down? I'll fall down. I'll drive back up. I'll drive up the side of a building with this thing. I don't care. It's just, come on. This is definitely harder to flip back over than the regular TLX. There we go. Yes. Alright, I'm gonna be way more careful. No. I'll only drive at like full speed some of the time. Alright, let's go across. Up and over. I do love this thing, just as it even touches cones, it just shoots them across. Probably the most ridiculous truck I've ever driven. Could you imagine if you actually saw someone with these rims? I flipped it again. I flipped it completely again. Come on. I have that copper bed on this, so it shines really, come on, really good. There we go. Okay. Come on. It certainly flipped more than the tired one. Shouldn't be an issue, go right across. There we go. Just speed and power, let's go. Lots more trucks to test. Don't slow me down, TLX. Oh god. Okay. Let's just make our own path. Yeah, it looks great. We made it. We made it. Oh, guys, that's fantastic. Alright, winner circle. Flooded by TLX 3500 series so far. Okay, next up we have a Lizard F350 Flatbed. Longer variant. And here we have the Raptor lights again. So let's see how this one does here. It's very similar to the last one we took. I am nervous with the long wheelbase here. With the rain deflectors on the side. Pretty unique. Doesn't stop very well. It's actually very quick. Most of them get stuck right here in the beginning with this long wheelbase. There's just not a lot of ground clearance. too bad. Again, doesn't stop very well, so it just kind of keeps falling back. Yep, I can't stop it. And can't really go anywhere either. Right in the same spot the last one failed. Just leave that there. Moving on. One more variant of the same truck. A couple of different settings on this. Maybe this one will actually make it. Cut the corner here. Same problem. You may be wondering why I test the exact same truck so many times. Well, I've learned that the variants of some of these, especially the ones on Mod Hub, they make huge difference. So, as you can see right here, this one can't even make it over the first part. Same truck, but just different variants. So I wanted to give some of the ones on Mod Hub that I knew were tested really well, cross-platform. Like I said, that was one of my goals. I wanted to just give them the best shot. Because if it works on crossplay, that's going to be really helpful. There we go. A few more trucks down here. We'll take the Hummer. So this was on 19. Again, another convert. I'm not sure if it was converted by the original model. I hope so. It's really nice looking inside. Really detailed. And it's a Hummer, so it should do well. Like the open roof. It's very good. Nice. Very quiet inside too. Not too bad. Not bad at all, actually. Can it do it? It's doing better than most of the pickup trucks that got stuck there. That's nice, actually. Should have locking straps as well, which is good. Just push that out of the way. Tinier than what a Hummer would be, too. Look at it compared to some of these other models. Hummer's gonna be pretty massive. Should be able to take the shortcut. It's a Hummer. Or it'll just get stuck. Even having too much trouble through the rocks. problem with most of these. They don't have that front approach angle. Bet if this was lifted just a little bit further, it probably would do this no problem. It's definitely gonna get stuck here. Uh-huh. Yep. I'll just pick that up and move that out of the way. It's quite heavy. Hopefully I don't fall into the water again. I think I'll just try to fling it instead. Because I don't want to fall in again. That was not a good time. Actually, that's not too bad. It's a little less heavy than I thought. Yeah, just like there. All right. Get more here. Alright, so this is a model that comes in an F350, F450. It's pretty new. It's like 2019 or so. This was also on 19, brought forward. This was one of my personal favorite trucks back in 19. Used it very heavily. Used it quite a bit on 22 as well. Put it into some short videos and things. It's a good model. It's very detailed. There's no errors. There are running boards that pop out. Like I said, you can get it in a 450, 350, you can get different beds. A bunch of different configurations actually. It's a more realistic model. As we've seen with most of the realistic models, they get stuck right at the beginning here, so I wouldn't be surprised if it fails here. It being a long truck like that, but I do recommend this one if you're not looking to rock climb. Give it every opportunity here because I do really like this truck. This one and that EMR Ram, which were always my two favorites in 19, so I'm gonna very nicely mark this if you do care about this one. Look at that, it just pops out. Passenger support and everything too. It's just nice. Alright, so this is the pulling truck. This is actually in the squads video recently. It's very quick. Jeez. Front stack works. You can get this with a front weight on it. It's designed to just pull like a sled if you're doing a truck pull or something like that. Pretty good so far. A little bit ridiculous. See it just kind of jumping across the screen here. I think this uses the same model as the other 3500 truck we were looking at. Jeez. Uh-huh. See if we can flip itself back up. It's actually doing very well. Keep in mind the last one we used with this exact same model, it got stuck on the bridge, so, and then it fell into the water, and I'm pretty sure it's still running. It never got totaled down. Very long, like the last one. That's why I think it's the same model. It's just really hard to even get this thing to stay in a straight line. As soon as you hit the gas, it just launches. It's fun. Alright. Okay. Yeah, with the nose hitting everything here. If it even makes it over the logs, I'd be surprised if it made it up that rock face after the small bridge. Or I can just tumble into the side. It does have all the spinning, right? It would have never made it up the rock wall. Here we have the TLX 2020. This is the one on 19. Good passenger support. This was a huge deal when it came out on 19. We really loved this truck. Used in a lot of videos, a lot of series. It was good. I think my only issue with it back then was just that it was smaller. It was like a mid-sized truck, but it did everything. It towed everything, hooked up to everything, had a bunch of different connections for it and everything. It's just a really good truck. And I use this quite a bit. You should always have it in nitro blue. See how this one does. This is the one actually Big T is using in our EMR live streams. Ground clearance is a bit of a problem on this. You can't lift it as much as the other TLX pickups, but it still does have its usual tire force and everything else along those lines. So it sticks down pretty well. So it's tricky. As I've always said, if it gets stuck here or has trouble here, it's probably not going to make it through the next part. We'll see if this one's different though. Or if this one actually gets stuck here for the first time. Yeah, it's stuck. It's really stuck. Four-wheel drive though, which is good. how G-Wags are invisible in this game. It's every vehicle, it's not specific to that one. It's just weird to me. Alright, I'm gonna get the GMC Sierra AT4. Nice diesel sound. Heard that it takes a while to shift, but you can see the gauges are actually working. Like a boost controller or some sort of chip that you would add to your diesel pickup trucks. Got what looks like Android Auto in there as well. Pretty detailed. Very quick. It's pretty good. Now this is more of a stock AT4, which is an off-road edition that you would buy at a dealership, but I don't know that's really going to do this. We got a lot of cars down here. We'll move some of these. It's becoming carnage. Just like push that out of the way. Stuff around here. See if that takes a fair chance. Again, because of the ground clearance, I don't think it's going to make it anyway. But we're going to have to clear this. We still have 6 trucks left, I think. 5 or 6. Let's just drive through this Barney mobile. This one up. It's really the main one that's in the way. And gotta give a shout out to this Volvo. The thing has been very good, aside from the one time that I drove into the crater. But it's been able to kind of go across this course no problem. So I'm actually really impressed with this model. It's just ridiculous. Alright. GMC still drives, so. Just, take this back with us. You know what? We'll do a different test with this. Let's put down a little something, and if it can make it across this, then we'll say it's good. Because it is a really nice truck. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, it looks great. Alright, so if this can make it across that, then we'll advance to the next round. Because it kind of got stuck behind a car that I should have moved. Let's see what happens. I was gonna say it's still running, but you have to be in it for it to be totaled. If you jump out of the car, it doesn't actually total it. Alright, let's finish this up. So here we have the other base game truck, painted in manure, pale manure, I think is the name of this color. It's nice looking. Yeah, not too bad. I do wish base game had more crew cabs. I mean, it's the only piece they missed the mark on, otherwise the models are pretty good. They are long though, and ground clearance is going to be kind of an issue here, so I don't know if we're going to do too hot, but we'll give it its best shot. And that's, yeah. There's not going to be a way around this. We got left. So we got another TLX 3500. That's the one that comes with the map. Mercedes, a Unimog, and a big monster truck. Okay, so let's finish this up. We'll get these last few done here. And remember, this is just part one, so whatever makes it past that first section, we'll go on to phase two. Whatever's eliminated stays where it's at. We'll revisit those ever again. And yeah, we'll kind of see how that happens. So this is pretty nice. Don't really have like working radio or anything, but that's okay. Interior is pretty detailed. It's very red in this configuration. Okay. Probably be interesting for role play. Does have straps. It was like a Mercedes G-Wagon type thing with tracks. It's pretty impressive, actually. A lot of times you see these off-road models and they don't really act the way they look. You know, it is long, so we'll see about this part. Just kind of push the TLX a little bit out of the way there. There we got it. Yeah. Like what we say though, if it struggles back there, it's very unlikely to make this next bit, so let's see. Not feeling confident, guys. assuming the back tracks actually drive, which I think is a lot of the problem. If they did, probably would push it right up this. You see, they're not really spinning. It's really just front-wheel drive. Again, I have everything locked using enhanced vehicle controls, so if a vehicle has the capability of going four-wheel drive, it will. So there's no way that's making that up there. Let's move that out of the way as well. Keep going so we can finish this up. Second part of the challenge, just as a reminder, as we go through the cave on this map, we'll see what can make it through that. And then whatever's left, we'll go through a towing challenge. I've broken these all up into multiple videos on purpose and put the timestamps on. I will do one huge video of all of this too, so we'll see what kind of works best for everybody. Like I said, it's a lot of good content, so I didn't want to... I really just wanted to publish it all. I didn't want to summarize these tests or anything along those lines. I wanted everyone to kind of see the details of each vehicle and then be able to take a look at each vehicle individually. So 3 left. Unimog. This is a really cool model. And so with this, you can get all types of different beds for it. You can get a pickup bed style, you can get 3-point hitch, you do a bunch of different things. Got big tires, very detailed inside the model. Just a very, very useful truck. Let's see kind of how it is with the windows open. This is a good looking. This was done really well. No issues because this one's on Mod Hub, so we're good. You can see the details there on the exhaust stack. Into the window cranks and everything. Just a lot of details put into this to make it look like the real vehicle. So we'll go up. Now, it does have big tires and there's not a lot blocking the tires, so I'm hoping this does pretty good. Nice looking vehicle. It's tiny. It's really, really good. See, we got all the wheels spinning there. Proper all-wheel drive. I have to go around just because tires aren't quite big enough to go through other area. I think slightly bigger tires, and this probably would have had no problem with that last part. Not a lot of suspension travel. It's more like a semi-truck, I would say. So, because we struggled with that last bit, I'm a little anxious about the logs. Actually, never mind. No problem through there either. Wow. Okay. Might struggle a bit through here. This part's hard because you're hitting such a flat face and trying to climb it at the same time. is tough because it's not long enough to touch both points at once. I want to give this the best shot. Again, another mod hub vehicle. Pretty sure this is cross-platform at this point. Just don't know if I'm going to be able to cheat it to get up there. And I really wanted this one to do well. Alright, come on. Fantastic. Okay. Now it's not wide and it's not long, so this crater might... I may not be able to actually get across the crater. The reason why a lot of the other trucks can do this is because they have the length, so they can get one tire over while still being in the right spot. Said it just doesn't quite have the length. Unfortunate, because that I really wanted that one to win. Grab this, get that out of there. Try not to flip in the process. Say it again, guys. This Volvo is very, very good. So, I brought a bunch of recovery vehicles with me on the map, but this one by far takes the cake. Especially with this new Traverse model, just not even a problem. Just drag that out of there. So fun. I'll just gently put it up here. Alright, let's finish this up. So, we've got a monster truck, and then we've got the 3500 that comes with this map. So we'll take the monster truck out, and then we'll leave Alien Jim's truck. It's the last one here. Now this thing sounds ridiculous. Alright, in-cab's not so bad. Talk about it a little bit. It does have a rear hitch. Rear hitch is only for hooking up a gooseneck trailer. It does not take a regular. I'm gonna end up in the water. It does not take a regular trailer. I don't know that that's going to be an issue for me, but we'll kind of see how it proceeds with the challenge. It's going to be an issue when we get to trying to tow the mother bin, but we'll see about that. Does have passenger support, which you can see. It's very wide. Exhaust stacks are, I guess it makes sense because it's a gas engine. I'm not sure why we'd push out too much black smoke with a gas engine. You can hear it sounding like it's kind of going to stall. like an old carbureted engine with a cam. It's so loud. That's a good thing that's there because that stopped me. It does just kind of launch once you hit the gas. I don't think this is going to have any problems with this part. I do think the width will be an issue when we get to the second part of the map. Second challenge, but for now, probably not going to be too much of an issue. I think the width and everything about it is probably going to give it strength in this first part. See, it doesn't have too much articulation now. That's where those TLX trucks just really succeed. That articulation in the wheels. It is very awkward to turn this thing. Could do with four-wheel steering like the other one has. Although the other one fell into a ditch. Because of the steering wheel is a little bit too loose. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do like a 600-point turn here. See, it's just really hard to steer. Oh, we do have four-wheel steering. Look at that. Okay. See if that helps us out a bit. Yeah, sometimes when you play with the heads-up display off, you don't realize all the vehicle functionalities. So I had to check my notes there. It is good. You can see all four wheels were turning there. I was able to kind of pull us up. Have to be careful not to actually drive off the map though. Again. It's almost like it kind of launches once you get up to a certain point there. This is where the other monster truck got lost, so I want to be very cautious here. I think the width's going to help me though, as long as I can get a good part of the tires on each side. Okay, not too bad. Do this from inside. We're in the home stretch. And we'll park this one in the winner circle too. Alright, the last truck. Now this is TLX 3500. This is exactly as it comes when you download the map. It's got Alien Jim's license plate on it. The back I did take off because I wanted it as a talking point. So this truck has another unique feature. With the back off of it, you can tow tractor trailer, lorry beds, whatever you want to call them. You can tow anything. So gooseneck or fifth wheel or tractor trailer type things. So that makes this even more versatile. Did use this setup in a video recently where to tractor trailer bed just to kind of prove that it could. And it actually doesn't look that ridiculous doing it when you do it this way, because it lines up pretty well. You know, on a lot of gooseneck trucks, you can just... the controller got disconnected there. So a lot of times I'll get asked what I use to play the game. I have various controllers on my desk, and I use whatever's comfortable and essentially charged. So for this video I was using a PS4 controller. A lot of times I will use a PS5 DualSense controller. It is very comfortable. It's probably my favorite controller. I do also have an Xbox controller that I use on the second PC. And then if I'm playing on a laptop, I'll use mouse, keyboard. Yeah, because every other TLX 3500 has made it through this, I'm pretty confident to say that this one's going to make it as well. It also comes with the map, so it's configured in a way that's supposed to make it. But give it a try nonetheless. Another reason for taking the bed off on this one was I wanted to show just how much the wheels move on this one. As you can see, which is a big difference than a lot of the trucks that we tested throughout this first and second part of this challenge. Everything can just crawl, whatever. If I remember right, when this first came out, 82 Studios did a video on it, and showing it just driving straight up a mountain, essentially, that he had on one of the maps. And everything's kind of no big deal for this truck. Right across there. not an issue at all. Talked about this the last few 3500s, but if you are jumping through and just viewing just this chapter, the interesting part about this TLX is it's just wherever you point it, it goes. It's very forgiving if you make a mistake. It's very easy to control. It doesn't launch too fast or anything along those lines, but it's got plenty of power to do everything we need to in this part of the challenge. I'm interested to see how it will tow when we start throwing really heavy equipment at it. Because we will be towing the heaviest things we can find in the game, based on what Reddit tells me. It's just not even an issue. Okay, we'll park this one in the winner circle too, with all of its runs. And we have it. So here's the winner circle so far. Got a good mix of trucks. We've got several TLX models. We've got the square body. We've got one of the monster trucks. We've got a old Ford F600, 700. And yeah, we'll have to see how they all do in the next part of the challenge. So let's review everything. We had all these trucks. We took them through the first part of the challenge here. We eliminated as many as we could. And just left them wherever they were. So you can just see the carnage of everything that's left. It's like flying into the rock there. We've got several that fell into the water. This is a big arrow point right there. A lot that couldn't even make it onto the map. But just a small handful that couldn't make it through the tricky cave up here. And over and around, we've got the two or three trucks up here that couldn't make it across the hay bales. Straw bales. And then we've got the winner circle. So that'll conclude the first phase of this challenge, broken down into two parts just because we had so many trucks. So we'll go on to the next part with these 8 trucks, where we'll be going through the caves before doing a towing test.